ISI 1, Jennifer Maris, will be talking about verb types. Okay, class, so today we're going to be talking about verbs, so different type of speech and grammatical processes. Our content objective is to identify different types of verbs, and our language objectives are to orally define what verbs are, and we're going to be using some partner work and sharing out loud to the class and explain why we use verbs orally and in writing. So, we're going to look at some examples. Our first one says, he said okay. Our second one says, he jumped. And our third one says, he flew. Okay, Julie, what does the first one tell you? Good, it's telling you what he said. Marco, what does the second one tell you? Awesome, it's telling you what he did in action. Good job using those great vocabulary words. And Jacob, what does the third one tell you? Awesome, it tells you another action, it's telling you he flew. What do you notice about what the words tell you? I want you to turn to your partner. We all have our assigned partners for our shoulder work, and I want you to talk about what these words tell you. Good job, y'all. I hear a lot of great work going on. Okay, so exactly, they're telling you what he is doing. So our words after he are our verbs, and he is our noun. So I want you to tell your partner what verbs do, and I want you to use the words verb and noun in your partner share. Anne, can you tell me what your partner said? Good. Verbs tell you what action is happening. Verbs describe an action of the noun. Can you give me an example of a verb that we didn't use in our examples? Awesome. Ran is a verb because it tells me the noun, which our noun is he, what he is doing. He ran. Awesome. Now we're going to replace our noun he with the puppy. So you're going to work with your your elbow partner, and come up with some verbs to use with the noun the puppy. Try not to use the same ones I did. I want to see who can get really creative and think of some different verbs that I didn't use. So I'll give y'all a little bit to think. Okay, Marco, what did your partner say? Awesome. He said, the puppy barked. Very good. And that's a verb because it tells me what the puppy did. Robert, what did your partner say? Awesome. The puppy plays. That's a verb because, again, it's telling me the action of the puppy, what the puppy is doing. Maria, can you tell me what your partner said? Great. The puppy felt happy. This one's a little different, but we're using our noun and a verb. But this one's telling me how the puppy is feeling instead of what the puppy is doing. But it's definitely a verb. These are all great examples of verbs to use with the noun, the puppy. So verbs can actually describe the actions of nouns in 3 different ways. Let's see if we can figure out what these ways are. So remember, there's 3 different ways. I want you to turn and talk with your partner and compare the words we've used. How do they relate, and what do they describe about the noun? This is going to help us figure out how verbs describe nouns in 3 ways. So go ahead and talk to your partner about how the words compare the verbs we've used. Good job, y'all. Keep up the good work. Okay, I heard Anne's partner talking about how the verbs are telling the noun, how the verbs are telling what the noun is doing or its action. Ian, can you tell me what falls into that category? He ran and the puppy plays. Awesome job identifying those two. They both tell me an action. John, how is the verb in the puppy felt happy different from the verb in the puppy played? Think about it for a minute and see if you can find how those two are different. Exactly. When we say the puppy felt sad, we are talking about how he felt and not what he is doing. The puppy felt sad uses a thinking verb. So far we have 2 of our 3 ways, action verbs and thinking verbs. Okay. Maria, can you tell me what kind of verb is in the puppy played? Great job. Another action verb. Okay, think really hard for this one. So, this is our last one. What does the verb do in the phrase, he said okay? Marco, what do you think the verb does in the phrase, he said okay? Oh, you did such a good job. It tells us what he is saying. And our last type of way that verbs can describe nouns, nouns is saying verbs. Okay, great job. It's a saying verb. So let's look at a new one and you tell me what kind of verb it is. So I want you to hold up a 1 if you think it's an action verb, a 2 if you think it's a saying verb, and a 3 if you think it's a thinking verb. So this is our first one. She walks to school. I'll give you a second, then I want to see everyone's fingers in the air, 1, 2, or 3. Great job. I see most of the class thinks action, which is right. This is telling us that she walks to school. It's telling us what she's doing. Our next one. The blue dolphin loved cookies. Think about it and then hold up your fingers. Okay, Marco, what do you think? It's a tough one, but you're right. It is thinking. She loved cookies. It's not telling us what she's doing or what she's saying. It's telling us what she's thinking. Now we're going to do a word fork. So I have the word the kitten, and I have 3 forks going off of my noun, the kitten. I have 3 different verbs. One is the kitten mewed for milk, the kitten jumped off the couch, and the kitten felt loved. Can anyone tell me what is different about these 3 forks? Awesome, John. There are 3 different types of verbs. Jumped off the couch is an action, mewed for milk is a saying verb, and felt loved is a thinking verb. So now you're going to make your own word fork using any noun that you want to, but you have to use examples of 3 different types of verbs, and you can use more if you'd like. But there's only those 3 types, so I want to make sure that you have one of each of them. So go ahead and get to work on that, and then we'll come back and see what everyone came up with.